Family and friends, please rise if you can in honor of the class of 2025. Please remain standing and welcome Sam Plum, a member of the class of 2025 from the University of Utah School of Music, who will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, today is about celebrating the class of 2025. While we support free expression on our campus, we ask guests to be respectful of our graduates and to not disrupt today's event. Guests who choose to be disruptive will be escorted from the arena. If you are seated in a row where people are exiting, please let them pass. And now please welcome University of Utah President Taylor Randall.
Well, hello, Team Utah. Congratulations, class of 2025. You did it. Let's hear it for them. We want to hear energy in this building. Now, I do recognize a few of you look shocked to be here. We're surprised as well, but nevertheless, congratulations. I am so happy to be here to celebrate with you this evening. As we begin commencement, I want to introduce and welcome some of our guests to the stage. Please, I'd ask them to stand as they are announced and remain standing. Audience, if you'd please hold your applause until we've recognized everyone. Members of the President's Cabinet and the University Administration. Members of the Utah Board of Higher Education. Amanda Covington, Board Chair. Javier Chavez Jr., Board Member. Muskan Walia, Student Board Member. From the Utah System of Higher Education, Commissioner Jeffrey Landward. Former University of Utah President Geraldine McIntyre. Visiting presidents from our fellow Utah colleges, Darren Brush from Davis Technical College, Greg Peterson from Salt Lake Community College. Members of the University of Utah Board of Trustees, Christian Gardner, Chair. Katie Eccles, Vice Chair. Joseph Boyden, Kurt Doman, Maria Garcias, David Parkin, Steve Price, Bassam Salem, Randy Shumway, Jamie Sorensen. State, tribal, and local leaders, Senator Chris Wilson, Representative Karen Peterson, Mayor Jenny Wilson, President Boo Nygren, the deans and directors of the university's schools, colleges, museums, and invited guests. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. You may be seated. Tonight marks the 156th General Commencement at the University of Utah. For more than a century and a half, the University of Utah has served as the state's flagship university. We are part of a legacy that began 175 years ago with the University of Deseret. This year, we are proud to celebrate the anniversary of our beginnings. We were one of the first universities in the American West, and ever since, our students have gone on to make their mark not only on Utah, but the world. We are still climbing. We are an engine of impact, and you, every one of you, are that impact. In total this evening, we celebrate a record 8,908 graduates. From anthropology and ballet to engineering and urban ecology, every corner of our university is represented. We're also joined by graduating students from our Utah Asia campus who completed their programs through a combination of study in Salt Lake City and at our campus in Korea. I look forward to honoring 171 graduating students in Incheon, Korea later this month. The remarkable, talented class has come to us from 27 Utah counties, 53 states and territories, and 70 different countries. Our oldest, most persistent and resilient graduate is 63. And our youngest, most precocious is 18. Our largest group of graduates comes from the Department of Psychology. Let's give it up to our future mental health professionals. Graduates, each of you have sacrificed, served, and succeeded during your time here. Despite the challenges you faced, I've seen you remain resilient and optimistic about your future. In our 175-year history, you have risen to new heights. Your creativity, innovation, spirit, and entrepreneurialism are inspiring. I am filled with hope as I watch you go forward to make this world a better place for all of us. Congratulations. It's my distinct pleasure to highlight just a few of our remarkable students from the class of 2025. First, I want to recognize an exceptional student veteran, Natasha Grace Stewart. Friends and family call her Grace. Grace is a sergeant in the Army National Guard. She is currently attached to the 19th Special Forces Airborne Unit, where she's completed more than 15 jumps, including 4 in combat. Grace. When Grace is not jumping out of aircraft, you can find Grace in the Veterans Support Center at the U. She is a lead sponsor of the VITAL program, where she connects with veterans with essential resources, including one-on-one counseling. As a health, society, and policy major in the College of Social and Behavioral Science, Grace has published award-winning research on antibodies in frontline workers during COVID. After graduation, she's planning to take the MCAT, yet another test, to apply to medical school. Grace, thank you for standing and allow us to recognize you. Thank you for your bravery and dedication to others. You're inspiring. In total today, we have 316 student veterans graduating. They're wearing red, white, and blue cord. Let's take a moment to recognize them. Please stand. And all those who are veterans in the audience, please stand so we can thank you for your service to our country. Next, I'd like to tell you about one of our student athletes who's displayed a level of commitment, physical ability, and mental fortitude achieved by only a select few. Before joining our acclaimed Red Rocks gymnastics team in 2021, Grace McCollum won a silver medal for Team USA during the 2020 Summer Olympics. Hi, Grace. Just recently, she added the title of Region 2 Gymnast of the Year to her long list of accolades. She is also the Big 12 Gymnast of the Year and the NCAA Regional Bars Champion for 2025. At the end of the regular season, Grace was tied for number 2 in the country on bars and number 4 on beam. She is graduating with a degree in psychology and is considering graduate school, hopefully here at the University of Utah. Grace, we're so proud of you. Thank you very much. Let's congratulate Grace. Grace is joined by 89 other University of Utah student athletes. If they would please rise, let's give them a round of applause. Our next student is a musician, a mentor, and a problem solver. Austin Lee is graduating with an honors degree in computer science. Between his creativity, his brilliance, I honestly believe there's nothing that Austin can't do. While at the U, Austin built his own computer, earned his first certificate in cybersecurity, placed in the top ranks of multiple hackathons. We should all watch out for that. He also gained experiences and friendships that made his college years truly memorable. Through it all, Austin learned to overcome his fear of making mistakes. He came to embrace the idea of spectacular failure, understanding that every blunder teaches courage and opens opportunities not found in any other way. As he graduates from the U, Austin will take that knowledge and preparation with him. He already has a job lined up as a software engineer at a local firm. Austin, thank you for standing and allowing us to recognize you. We wish you the best. Finally, I want to tell you about Muskan Walia. Muskan, are you going to stand on this one? Thank you. She doesn't like this. I know that. You're lucky I'm not having you come up here and stand next to me. Whether or not you know her personally, Muskan has likely influenced your experience here at the U. She was appointed by Governor Spencer Cox to represent the students on the Utah Board of Higher Education this year. She has also been actively involved in student government. For years, she served as a presidential intern and as treasurer and chair of the Student Senate. All along, she has advocated for her fellow students. She's graduating with honors degrees in mathematics and philosophy. Next, she plans to start a PhD program in computational public policy at Harvard University. Muskan credits her mentors on this campus for empowering her to find her purpose in life. She has enriched our campus and benefited all who have crossed her path. Muskan, thank you and congratulations. I know all of you have your own amazing stories of success and resilience, and I wish I could highlight every single one. But in the sake of time, how about just a round of applause for all of you amazing graduates one more time. In addition, graduates, I know you have a deep sense of gratitude for everyone who has supported and encouraged you on this path to graduation. So let's take a moment to give a huge shout out to family, friends, faculty, staff, and everyone who helped you reach this goal. Would you now please welcome Bob Carter, Senior Vice President for Health Sciences, to highlight some of our faculty award recipients.
It's my pleasure to recognize the extraordinary faculty being honored this year for their work as teachers, researchers, and scholars. On your way into the arena this evening, you may have noticed the video playing on the big screens that highlighted each of our faculty award winners. They are listed in your program. The University of Utah has a long history of breakthrough discoveries and innovations. But institutions do not accomplish great things. It's the people who are at those institutions. Faculty are the lifeblood of our institution. We are known as a place where people come to do and to be part of work that elevates our society and the world. This year, we honor 38 faculty award winners and an outstanding public school teacher. Each of them has had substantial impact. I want to share 2 examples. George Contreras, a newly named distinguished professor, is a mentor and leader in the S.J. Quinney College of Law. His work in intellectual property, antitrust law, and public policy has had far-reaching impact in the public sphere. Karen Wilcox from the College of Pharmacy is a recipient of the Distinguished Research Award. She has contributed significant advances to the field of epilepsy research, rising to become a renowned expert in her field. All of these talented colleagues from across our campus inspire, challenge, and elevate those around them. Would our faculty award winners please stand, and will you please join me in applauding them? Thank you. Thank you and congratulations. Now please welcome to the podium Mitzi Montoya, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you. I am now pleased to announce the recipient for the Rosenblatt Prize for Excellence, the highest honor the University of Utah can bestow upon a faculty member. This prize recognizes achievement that transcends the ordinary in teaching, research, and service. It's awarded by the president of the university based on recommendations of a distinguished selection committee. The 2025 recipient for the Rosenblatt Prize for Excellence is Dr. Henry White, Distinguished Professor of Chemistry. Professor White, please join me at the podium. Professor White is one of the most influential, innovative electrochemists of his time. He's especially known for his research on how electrical processes behave at incredibly small dimensions. His lab made it possible to analyze single DNA molecules using ultra-thin glass membranes, essentially building a microscopic tool for studying genetic material. Professor White has received multiple awards for his work, including the Faraday Medal from the Royal Society of Chemistry and the Utah Governor's Medal for Science and Technology. In 2015, he received the first ever Alan J. Bard Award of the Electrochemical Society. His leadership as department chair and dean of the College of Science was transformative. He elevated the college's reputation, expanded its educational mission, and positioned it to grow for years to come. Professor White had a strong commitment to undergraduate education and started the Science Research Initiative, which engages science students in research from day one and continues and is growing strong today. He's also raised some $18 million in private donations and public grants to construct the Thatcher Building for biological and biophysical chemistry. For 32 years, Professor White has grown a vibrant and imaginative research program. He's training the next generation of scientists to keep that spark alive. Please join me in thanking and honoring Professor White, our 2025 Rosenblatt Prize recipient. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations to all of our faculty honorees this year. And now, please join me in welcoming Lori McDonald, Vice President for Student Affairs.
Let me add my congratulations to the class of 2025. It is my honor to introduce our student speaker tonight. Baccalaureate students demonstrating exceptional academic success were invited to submit a written essay for consideration by a selection committee of students, faculty, and staff. More than 120 outstanding students were considered to represent the graduates here tonight. All of the finalists' speeches were heartfelt and worthy, but Tracy Yellowman Seyenitso was the unanimous choice of the committee. Tracy is a powerhouse. She is a mother, a welder, and soon will be a graduate student at the U pursuing a Master of Public Health degree. Her journey to the U began when she contracted a blood infection that threatened to end her career, and more importantly, her life. When she survived, she decided to pursue a degree in community health promotion and education. Her story is one of inspiration, bravery, and resilience. Please welcome Tracy Yellowman Seyenitso.
President Randall, distinguished guests, and my fellow graduates. Yat e shik e doshitene, she e Tracy Yellowman Seyenitso yin she. Bit aninishle, ashche e bashishchin, tachi ni dashache, hashk ishni dashanale. Akut ego the ne asanishle, the wajibako de nasha. Hello. My name is Tracy Yellowman Seyenitso. I am a proud Diné Navajo woman, and my maternal clan is under his cover people. My paternal clan is the Red Cheeks people, and from my grandfathers, the Red Running into the Water people and Mud people clans. I come from the Wujiboko, Utah, which is nestled near the Four Corners area. I stand before you today carrying the strength of my ancestors, a lineage of warriors, particularly Hastink Ayeli, my great-grandfather many times over, whose resilience is instilled within me today and has given me the strength to survive and thrive, not only in my everyday life, but in my educational journey. That spirit is alive within me and guides me in every step I take. With that, I want to share a piece of my journey. Like many of you, my path to this moment wasn't easy. It was full of challenges. As a Foster alumni, a mother, a pipe welder, and a student, there were days when the weight of my responsibilities felt insurmountable. Regardless, I pressed on. I give thanks to my husband, Theryl, my children, Rylan, Loxley, and Penelope, to my faith in Azehina, and to all my dear friends and family who believed in me and my journey that brought me here today. Walking into my first classroom here at the University of Utah after my long academic break was intimidating. With my college-ruled paper notebook and pen in hand, I looked around at all the youthful faces lit by personal devices. I couldn't help but feel out of place, wondering if I belonged. I even questioned whether I was doing the right thing. But I remembered something of my ancestors. We are equipped with the tools to endure and adapt, and with the courage to overcome. There, I adjusted my quiver and bow, and I accepted that challenge. As the semesters passed, I found my rhythm. I realized that no matter our age, where we come from, how we look, what we believe, we are all students on that same educational path, learning, growing, and striving to be the best versions of ourselves. My classmates, with their energy and intellect, inspired me every day. In my own quiet way, I honored each of them. wishing for their success as I navigated my own journey. Today, I see each of you reaching your goal, and I am given the privilege to honor each of you, not only in my mind this time, but with my words. Someone once told me that as American Indian people, we carry the wisdom of our elders and ancestors. The tools of resilience and determination have been passed down to each of us to ensure we survive and thrive. Today, as we stand as graduates of the University of Utah, I honor that strength in each of you. We all come from different walks of life, yet together we have shown remarkable resilience, professionalism, and brilliance. You've inspired me, and I know that as we step out into the world, we will continue to inspire others. Yes, there will be challenges ahead, but I encourage you, remember that we are equipped with what we need to overcome them. As a proud University of Utah Ute, I know that each of us carry within us the spirit of perseverance, the ability to adapt, and the courage to lead. So as we celebrate today, let us honor not only our achievements, but also the communities, the families, the ancestors who made them possible. Let us carry our stories forward, lifting each other as we climb and building bridges for those that will come after us. The world is waiting for us, and there is no doubt we will make our mark and make an incredible impact. Congratulations to the University of Utah class of 2025. Thank you.
We will now proceed with the conferral.
Hey, I think I screwed up.
I was covering for you.
I know. Let's go back just a little bit. Introduce chair to confer the honorary degrees. Is that me?
That's
okay.
That's you. That's
okay.
you.
All right. I'm sorry. Okay. That was my fault. By the way, he is my boss. That was totally my fault. That's lesson 1, by the way. There'll be a top 10 list. Lesson 1, always your fault, not your boss's. Tracy, thank you for sharing not just your story, but your strength and vision for what resilience truly looks like. Your words remind us of a lifelong journey is buoyed by community, heritage, and the courage to persist through adversity. Tonight, Tracy is supported by her family, leaders of the Navajo Nation. Thank you for being here, President Nygren, and members of her tribe. Congratulations on completing your degree. And I wish you the best for wherever you go. Now, I know we've already spoiled the introduction, but it's now my pleasure to invite Christian Gardner, the chair of the University of Utah Board of Trustees, to confer the honorary degrees. Christian, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, President. This is like deja vu. I swear I've been here before, just a few minutes ago, but thank you. And welcome all the graduates, and we are so appreciative of all your hard work in graduating from this great university. Each year on this special occasion, the University of Utah confers honorary doctoral degrees on individuals whose service to the university and community is so significant it warrants the highest recognition the university can give. On behalf of the university's Board of Trustees, tonight I will introduce 4 individuals who have earned this prestigious honor. We award the first honorary doctoral degree to I. King Jordan.
Following a horrific motorcycle accident in his 20s, Dr. I. King Jordan lost his hearing. He would now have to navigate the world in a way he had never experienced, in total silence.
I was driving and a car turned in front of me. I hit the car and my head went through the windshield. So when I woke up in the hospital, I was deaf.
He enrolled in Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C., the world's only university for deaf and hard of hearing students.
Everybody signed, and they signed fast, and I didn't know sign. So I had to learn quickly. But it was at Gallaudet that I learned to be a deaf man.
Dr. Jordan went on to the University of Tennessee for his master's and PhD. There, he faced the challenge of navigating a non-deaf university as a deaf person. Returning to Gallaudet University, Dr. Jordan rose to be Dean of the Psychology Department. In 1988, he was one of 3 finalists as the new president of the university. The position was initially offered to a non-deaf, non-American Sign Language speaking person, but students at the university had other plans. Jordan became the first deaf president since Gallaudet University was founded in 1864. He led the university for 18 years. In that role, he became a powerful voice for people with disabilities. No matter the challenge, Dr. Jordan found a way over it, around it, or through it. You might expect he'd have some good advice to the graduating class today.
I would say be brave. Don't be afraid to take risks. Do what you want to do, even when people tell you no, or this is a challenge. Don't listen to them. Do what you want.
Will I. King Jordan please rise, and will Trustee Randy Shumway and College of Education Dean Frankie Santos La Anand please escort him to the podium. In consideration of his lifelong service to higher education and with appreciation for his tireless advocacy for the deaf, hard of hearing, and all persons with disabilities across the world, and recognizing his continued work as a spokesperson and champion for equal access for those with disabilities, the University of Utah, with the approval of its Board of Trustees, presents to I. King Jordan the Doctor of Education honorary degree. Wow. Our next recipient is Julie A. Lassonde.
To really understand Julie Lassonde's journey, you've got to start with her roots, especially her parents.
Mom and Dad came to Salt Lake, my dad to do his MBA, and my mother to do her master's in nuclear engineering. My mom said, oh, you can be anything you want, any kind of engineer you want.
Julie has never shied away from a challenge, like studying civil engineering at Queen's University.
It was a really rigorous program, and it really kicked my butt. And I still have nightmares of exams. I still wake up, I'm not kidding, thinking I have a hydrology exam tomorrow morning.
Julie took that degree and led multiple global mining companies, including serving as CEO of Sheer Diamonds. But Julie couldn't stop learning. She earned her executive MBA and tacked on a master's degree in art history from Brown University.
And of course, diamonds are a girl's best friends. So I had to know more and more about diamonds. First of all, how are diamonds created? How do we mine them? How do we do, like, that is just a whole field of interest.
Julie and the Lassonde family gave back to the U by establishing the Lassonde Institute, one of the nation's premier entrepreneurial institutes.
Whenever I get to walk into the garage, I'm amazed at what I'm seeing. I'm amazed at what the students are creating, designing, innovating. Their creativity is unleashed in the garage.
So, what words of advice would Julie share with the University of Utah's graduating class of 2025?
Be curious. Being curious combined with a critical thinking can lead to wonderful and weird places.
Will Julie A. Lassonde please rise, and will trustees Steve Price and College of Engineering Dean Charles Musgrave please escort her to the podium. In consideration of her lifetime advocacy for women in STEM education, careers, and entrepreneurship, and for her role in building entrepreneurial education at the University of Utah, and in recognition of her distinguished career as a mining engineer and innovator, the University of Utah, with the approval of its Board of Trustees, presents to Julie A. Lassonde the Doctor of Engineering honorary degree. Thank you so much. That's so impressive. Here we go. Oh, thank you very much. Congratulations, Dr. Lassonde. Our next recipient is Cecil O. Samuelson, Jr.
Cecil O. Samuelson, Jr. is a medical doctor, an educator, a religious leader, and a person who's made a big impact wherever he has served.
I'd been to the University of Utah campus before, and because both of my parents were graduates and my father was on the faculty, that it was a very special place.
After medical school at the University of Utah and residency at Duke University, Cecil returned to the U and ultimately became the dean of the Eccles School of Medicine.
The process was that I would come, I'd be appointed as assistant professor of medicine and work in the division of rheumatology. If I would spend part-time in the dean's office as the assistant dean for admissions and chairman of the admissions committee.
Following 24 years in the world of medicine, Cecil's life took an unexpected turn when he was called to be a full-time general authority for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a position that would lead this devoted U of U grad to another unexpected call, the president of Brigham Young University.
Well, I thought President Hinckley had been kidding when he called me to go, but at any rate, we decided we'd do what we were asked to do, and it turned out to be a remarkable experience for us.
As president of BYU, Cecil worked closely with the University of Utah to help all students in the state. And if one university president giving you advice today wasn't enough, take it from another.
Do the best you can. Watch closely for opportunities. Continue to learn and recognize that you may need to change your opinions when you gather data. And look for opportunities to do things maybe you hadn't expected that you would have the opportunity to do, but might be fulfilling for you. If you do that, you have the chance to have a great career, but do what is important to you.
Will Cecil O. Samuelson, Jr. please rise, and will Trustee Katie Eccles and Senior Vice President for Health Sciences, Bob Carter, please escort him to the podium. In consideration of his dedication to Utah's public and private higher education institutions, and with appreciation for his compassionate work as a physician, healthcare provider, and world faith leader, and in recognition of his academic leadership at the University of Utah and president of Intermountain Healthcare Hospital and Brigham Young University, the University of Utah, with the approval of its Board of Trustees, presents to Cecil O. Samuelson, Jr., the Doctor of Science honorary degree. Congratulations, Dr. Samuelson, and thank you very much. Our final recipient is Linda C. Smith.
Linda Smith was born right here in Salt Lake City. So too was her deep love of dance. Linda's mom signed her up at Virginia Tanner School of Dance and thus began a lifelong passion in the world of modern movement.
Virginia introduced me to something that became my passion and my destiny and my focus for life. It gave me a voice, and it gave me courage.
What began at age 4 continued as a dance student at the University of Utah and on to the bright lights of New York City.
We choreographed, we taught, we produced concerts. It was a wonderful experience being a part of the dance department at the University of Utah. I did go to New York, and I wasn't invited to be in the Jose Limon Dance Company.
But for Linda, something inside of her kept beckoning her back home. Her return home would change the face of modern dance in Utah and the country as a dancer, artistic director of the Repertory Dance Theater, and adjunct professor at the University of Utah. In each role, Linda has inspired generation after generation of dancers, choreographers, writers, and musicians in the world of modern dance. She has brought joy, beauty, and boldly pushed artistic boundaries in an illustrious career that continues today.
I feel so fortunate to have been blessed with so many opportunities and so many ways of developing whatever capacity I have.
After making so many bold moves in her own life, what would her advice be to the graduating class?
I say congratulations. Tap into your creative energy. Be daring. Find new solutions. Thank you for your willingness to work so hard to help find the answers. Have courage.
Will Linda C. Smith please rise, and will Trustee Maria Garcias and College of Fine Arts Dean Jon Shebb please escort her to the podium. In consideration of her lifetime dedication to arts education in Utah, her work to support emerging choreographers and grow Utah's dance community through outreach to more than 1,000 schools, and her role cultivating dancers as artists, innovators, and role models, including more than 90 performances of her own, the University of Utah, with the approval of its Board of Trustees, presents to Linda C. Smith the Doctor of Fine Arts honorary degree. Congratulations, Dr. Smith. It is now my pleasure to invite Joseph Boyden, President of the Associated Students of the University of Utah, to introduce our commencement speaker.
Class of 2025, congratulations, we are here. For many of us who overcame challenges to see this day, we can all say, we did it, we made it. I am so proud of each of you. I'm thankful to have embarked on this journey with you, and I'm excited to be by your side as we go change the world. It is my honor to introduce our commencement speaker. Holly Rowe, longtime ESPN commentator and one of the best-known alums of the University of Utah. Holly won the 2022 Sports Emmy for Outstanding Personality or Reporter and received additional nominations in 2023 and 2024. She was the 2022 recipient of the Mel Greenberg National Media Award from the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. But before all of those accolades, she was a humble reporter at our own Daily Utah Chronicle. After graduating from the U in 1991 with a degree in communication, Holly earned a reputation as one of ESPN's most versatile commentators for more than 20 years. She forged a path for women in sports journalism when female sideline reporters were still rare. Currently in treatment for cancer, Holly has become a tireless advocate for cancer research and prevention. She is an inspiration. So please join me in welcoming Holly Rowe.
Whew, okay, I'm super nervous. I'm so nervous. My last college football game between Ohio State and Notre Dame, I think 29 million people watched that game, and I am much more terrified this very moment. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me be here. I just want to tell one quick story before I start my speech. The last time I was on a stage like this, I was graduating from the University of Utah in 1991, and I was just a huge Chicago Bulls fan, and they could never get, thank you, yes, they could never get past the Detroit Pistons, and the day before graduation, they beat the Pistons to go to the NBA Finals for the first time. So when I walked across the stage, we had to write this little card so that they could read out your name. And now graduating, and so I wrote Holly Bulls Rowe. And so that's the last time I was on this stage. I was graduating as Holly Bulls Rowe. So here I am today. Okay, so here's the real part. Hello, distinguished guests, alumni, and President Randall, and Spence Eccles. Like, you're a baller. I'm so excited for you to be here. I can't believe you're here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love him. This is so cool. I cannot believe it. I'm just a kid from Bountiful, Utah, and I can't believe that you invited me here. I was really listening to Grace and Austin's bios, and I was like, do you guys want to switch places with me? I think you're much more accomplished. And Austin, be honest, I'm pretty sure you've hacked the university system. Have you? Be honest. Change my GPA if you did. So I feel a great responsibility to let you know that no matter what your grades were, no matter what your academic accomplishments or lack thereof are today as you graduate, you get to go out and decide what the rest of your future looks like, and it is possible. I think your generation hears a lot what's wrong with you and why you can't. And I want to breathe into you encouragement and hope and love today because you guys kick bleep. You know what? I can say this with great certainty because when I was here at the U, I was a very mediocre student, and I barely graduated. It took me so long to be sitting right where you are. I was kind of nervous to speak today, actually, because I was on a payment plan for many years. This is a true story, post-college for my parking tickets that I received. And so now I'm really freaking out because now they know where I am. So please, let me finish my speech first. But, you know, I did have one thing going for me. Even if I wasn't a great student, I was a great worker, and I was super creative and industrious. I have an incredible work ethic, and that helped me go from being a so-so student to having a Hall of Fame career. I actually got inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame this last year. Like, it's so crazy. I'm really lucky because I grew up in a family that insisted on setting goals. I had a weekly personal progress report meeting with my dad. I know that sounds crazy, but Del Rowe, He's in heaven, but he was a driving force in my life. He actually grew up on a sheep ranch in Manti, Utah, and he earned a scholarship to the University of Utah as a boxer. And he was also in the marching band here. And then he eventually earned his law degree from the University of Utah. My dad was also a baller. He was actually here boxing at the University of Utah one night, and his dad was watching him ringside. And my grandfather had a heart attack and passed away that night. So I never got to meet my grandfather. My mother also went back to school, and she came here and got her degree at Utah. After raising and having 5 children, she went on to get her master's degree later in her life. And all of those 5 kids attended Utah at some point. So we have a very strong emotional attachment to this university. For me, I had a lot of stops and starts. Like, I would have to go, my parents would help where they could, but I was really poor. And I would have to work for 6 months and try to scrape together enough money to have tuition. And then I would take classes, and then I would have to stop and work again. I worked literally everywhere in Utah. I worked at the state legislature as a secretary, Howard Hughes Medical Institution, smoking cessation study here on campus. I cleaned office buildings in town. I've probably cleaned your office building, many of you people sitting here. I donated plasma. I mean, I was broke. Some of you may have been there. If you were, God bless us all, we made it, right? But I worked a lot of jobs to get through college, and it took me a lot of time. But when I first got out of college, I struggled because it was so hard just to get that degree. Now what? Like, my path wasn't laid out for me. I didn't know what classes and prerequisites, I didn't have that roadmap that they had given us while we were in college, and so I didn't know where to go. But it turns out that you can go through commencement and technically not get your degree, because I found that out after commencement. I walked across that stage, Holly Bowles Row, and then I got my report card, and I had failed my algebra class. So there was that. But more on that later. Put a pin in that. So it was hard. You get out into the world, what had been neatly laid out for you in college, now there's no plan. So what do? The thing I could rely on is I always knew what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I wanted to be a sportscaster. I was obsessed with sports. I loved everything to do with sports. I came to games here with my dad when Tom Chambers and Jeff Judkins and all these old great players were playing here. And so I had a great vision while I was in college of how to help me in the future. I took coaching football, coaching basketball. Now, I did get A's in those classes. I was brilliant in these sports classes. Sports law, sports psychology. I wrote for the Utah Chronicle. One of my first feature stories I ever did was on a brand new volleyball coach they had just hired, Beth Lanier, and she is still here kicking butt, and I'm so proud of her. So once I left here, there were a lot of options, but none of them were hiring kids right out of college. And you may face some of that yourselves. So I did a million internships. I did an internship in New York City for CBS Sports, KSL Radio, KJazz, KBYU, anything I could do. I would volunteer to do all of the grunt work, and I would do everything that other people wouldn't do. I would volunteer. And that's what I want you all to do, because what started to happen is when I started getting opportunities, I had earned those. Other people didn't get the opportunities because I had been the one that people were impressed with, because I would do what others wouldn't. So you'll have to earn your opportunities too. You're not gonna get out and get your dream job. Like, I literally do have my dream job. I'm getting paid to watch sports. Have we picked that up yet? I am getting paid to go to games. It is the biggest scam in the history of the world. I mean, it's literally my dream job. But you guys can all get your dream jobs. It's just gonna take you a minute, and I want you to have some grace as you're sitting here today and as you leave here, to give yourselves a little grace to stay on that path for your dream job. So one thing I want you to do today and this week is I want you to spend some time, and I'm really serious about this. Sit on your couch by yourself and close your eyes and really envision the life that you want, and then create it. I think a lot of us get distracted and we have all these things and we haven't really set out our vision for what we want to be. So I brought a prop. This is my rock that I painted 20 years ago at a girls' camp retreat with my church. And it says, imagine the life that you want and create it. I've taken this everywhere I've lived in the last 30 years. I sat there and I imagined the life that I wanted, and I did go out and create it. Again, getting paid to watch sports. Hello. So I put that plan in motion and I started doing all of those things. And soon after graduation, I figured out things like there were no women's sports that were getting broadcast in this state at all. So I worked with former advisors that I'd had here in college and the radio station. Shout out Mark Amicone, you know who you are and what you did for me. Bill Marcroft, Chris Tunis, people mentored me. And I bought airtime on the radio station. And I would go out and sell the ads myself so that I could get the University of Utah women's basketball games on the radio for the first time. Utah versus BYU was our first ever broadcast. I'm very proud of that. And now some of that was selfish because I wanted to be the announcer, right? But I created that opportunity for myself. And in doing that, I helped to lift women's sports to new heights. And I'm very proud of that. This last March, a year ago, 18.9 million people watched the women's national championship basketball game, more than watched the men's. And that is something that I helped create, and I'm very proud of that. So now all of the women's games are on the air, and you'll have those opportunities. Those of you who are interested in communications, you can create these same opportunities. In 1995, I was working at KBYU TV, and I noticed that the ABC broadcast for the BYU-Utah game that week didn't have a sideline reporter. And so I called the producer. I still don't know. I'm so crazy sometimes. I just believed in myself. And I called the producer and said, I can do the game for you. I'm prepared. I know the coaches. If you need someone local, I can do it. So shout out Ron McBride and Lavelle Edwards, who trusted me and included me and opened their arms to this young, naive, dumb girl from Bountiful that just wanted to cover their games. And the producer said yes, Dick Buffington. I will always, always remember him. So I kept calling. So that was my first game in 1995 on ABC Sports. And I didn't know how the world worked. I just thought that was my one big shot. So the next week when he said, oh, we're doing San Diego State with Marshall Falk at San Jose State, I thought, well, I'm going to call him again. There's no reporter listed. And so I called him and I said, you know what? I'm going to be in San Jose. What a weird coincidence. It's crazy. And he was like, you are? Yes, yes. So I got to do the game. Of course, I was so poor, I had to take a train from Salt Lake City to San Jose, like for $70, which seemed like a fortune back then. But I figured out that I could get these opportunities. And what I didn't know then was those games were on satellite TV, and so the people back in New York City saw my work, and they hired me full-time at ESPN. That one phone call changed my life. 30 years later, I am still working for ESPN. So I want you to have that same courage and that same attitude and believe in yourself and be reckless with your confidence. Irrational confidence is your friend because it has worked for me. Early at ESPN, I got to work the Division III National Championship game, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so amazing. Like, National Championship game, Division III. I have made it in life. And at the time, the coach for the winning team was a man named Frosty Westring at Pacific Lutheran. And he gave me his book that he had written called Make the Big Time Where You Are. And that book changed my life because I think so many of us go through life chasing the big time. And so we're never happy where we are. And I didn't do that. Every single time I learned that whatever game I was doing in that moment, that was my big time. And it has allowed me to stay happy and present in each moment of my career, no matter how big or small the events were. Once they asked me to do PBA bowling, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like these opportunities. So from the Division III National Championship to now working for more than 10 national championships for Division I for ABC, including the last one with Ohio State, I really have made the big time, but I've been happy the whole way because the big time has been where I am. That's what I hope for all of you. So be present, be absorbed in what you love. Being present and absorbed helped to save my life a few years ago when I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic cancer. And for those of you who don't know, stage 4 is really bad because stage 5 is when you die. So just keep that in mind. So I had inoperable tumors in my lungs, and it was a deadly diagnosis. Things were not looking good. And I remember one day my doctor, he was so cute and awkward about it, and he was like, you really need to start thinking about how you're spending your time. And I know now that was his nice way of saying, like, we don't know if you're going to make it. Be conscientious about how you're spending your time. So I went home that day, and like I'm telling you, I sat on my couch and I closed my eyes and I tried to imagine what would my day look like or my week or my month look like if I was going to die soon. And I realized that I was living like that already. I really honestly would not have changed a thing. I had so much joy in my job. The vision that was instilled by my parents at a very young age, my relentless pursuit of my dream job, where I get paid to watch sports, and spending time with the greatest joy of my life, Mikailan, who is here tonight. Don't make me cry. He's the best thing ever. I was already doing what I loved and what mattered to me. So imagine the life that you want and create it. And when I was nearly on my deathbed, I had already been living that life. That is the greatest gift, and I want that gift for all of you young people who get to go out and create your lives. So my life has been spared by a clinical trial, so thank you to all of the scientists and engineers and people who are going into pharmaceutical. My life has been saved. A clinical trial with some cutting-edge immunotherapy, and I just got to move from my 6-month scans to my 1-year scan, so I'm doing better now. But the lesson I learned in that battle is, and I hope it is what you walk out of here embracing and knowing today, is you have to know what matters to you. There's a lot of things that will get in your way and distract you as you move forward. Find out what it is. It's not what you see on social media where you're comparing yourselves to other people. It's just you and what makes you your unique, original, creative self. I see all the painted mortar boards. You guys are so cute and fun and creative. That's what I want, is be your original best self. So I stand here today as someone who has interviewed the very best of the best, from Michael Jordan to LeBron James, Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrows, Kobe Bryant. I really could just name 70,000 athletes because I really have interviewed everybody. I'm doing Caitlin Clark's game on Sunday at Iowa. She's returning to Iowa for the first time. I'm getting paid to do that, by the way. Hello. One of my greatest moments, Vince Young versus Matt Leinart in the greatest Rose Bowl game and national championship ever. So I've been to the White House. I've met Oprah, who, funny story, was also 1 credit short of graduating when she went through commencement. And it took her longer, more than a decade, to get her degree. So I beat Oprah. I did eventually get mine. There you go. I've won an Emmy. I've been nominated 5 times. I've just lived this big, beautiful, bold life. And I'm not telling you this to say, look how great I am. I'm telling you this to say, look how great you can be. I am just really this dumb, sports-obsessed kid from Bountiful, Utah. I haven't worked a day in my life. I have been the luckiest in the world because I had the vision to really plan out what was I good at and stick with it. And then my last piece of advice is to encourage you to let this degree and all of these years that you've invested to only be the beginning of your knowledge. I want you to leave here and learn more away from this university than you did. Every single day, stretch yourself, grow, seek others who are different than you. I mean, 70 countries. You should have met a lot of incredible people here that can continue to teach us as we move through life. I have had some really incredible life experiences. I spent 3 months in the WNBA bubble during COVID and the social justice uprising of 2020. It changed my life. I learned so much, and the women of the WNBA are still some of my greatest teachers of how to be a good ally and how to approach that community that needs our love and support. Find people with diverse processes and ideas who can broaden your life view. Diversity is our greatest teacher, and I want you all to embrace it. So thank you for letting me share my hope with you. What I know now that I did not know 34 years ago when I was sitting exactly where you are, and shout out to the fun people out here. There's someone over there with sunglasses. You've been fun the whole time. I appreciate you. Thank you. I knew you were there for me. Find the things in life that bring you joy, that bring you passion. Like that. You're giving me a lot of joy. Because have you ever had those moments where you lose time, you're so wrapped up in what you're doing that you never feel like you work? That's what you should be doing for your job. Focus on that, and you will be successful. So fight for it, be creative, check on your vision frequently. And now, I was gonna drop a big Kendrick Lamar phrase right here, but I didn't know if our people would like that or not. So if this world were mine, just imagine your life and go out and create it and just be the best, biggest, most beautiful version of yourselves. Thank you all for having me.
Hey, can I, from the guy in the sunglasses, can I get an ow for Holly Rowe? All right, I love it. Hey, Holly, I don't know, you got an incredible shoe game. Is there a way we can get a close-up on that? I mean, check that out. That is impressive. I like good kicks. So anyway, Holly, we loved hearing about your tenacity, the grit that you've shown throughout your career and life. Your story reminds us that when we have a dream in mind and the willingness to act, not even parking tickets, I suppose, can get in the way. And I don't have a lot of powers as president, but they're gone.
I think I paid him.
Oh, you did? Well, maybe a refund. Anyway, not sure I can promise that to the rest of you, though, right? Holly, we are cheering. I know, sorry about that. That was bad news. We're all supposed to be happy tonight. Holly, we're cheering you on. So no matter where you are, we're with you. And remember, class of 2025, when you leave us, you're really never leaving the U behind either. You're about to join the incredible ranks of 300,000 University of Utah alumni worldwide. And speaking as a fellow alum, we're thrilled to have you. Please welcome to the podium the president of the U Alumni Board of Governors, Jamie Sorensen.
Graduates, today you will join a community of proud alumni of the University of Utah. From now on, you are part of a select group woven together by shared experiences and common goals. I especially want to recognize the 22 graduates who have been selected for this year's class of the Beehive Honor Society, sponsored by U Alumni. These students exemplify the vision of U Alumni as outstanding leaders in the community who have built meaningful connections by serving others. All of you are important to us. To help keep you better connected to the U Alumni family, we launched a platform called Forever Utah for alumni and students to stay connected with the university and with each other. I encourage you to use this platform to create groups, find a mentor, and build your network. Join us at forever.utah.edu and download the U Alumni app to learn more about what it means to be a part of this amazing alumni support system. And now, here's a little bit about the legacy of our alumni community.
It has been said that we all stand on someone's shoulders. We owe our lives, our direction in life, and our success to those who came before us. They marked a path, showed us the way, and lifted us up. That is especially true of the thousands upon thousands of alumni of the University of Utah over our 175-year history. They have not only built this place brick by brick, but have also built its reputation as one of the top public universities in the nation. So when you hang your freshly minted diploma on the wall, it means something. It says you've met the challenges of a great university. As you now join the ranks of the more than 300,000 Utah alums worldwide, we invite you to stay connected, get involved, take part in our events, give back, be a part of an alumni chapter wherever you land. You are now part of a 175-year legacy of University of Utah alums, and future students will be standing on your shoulders.
Never forget, once a U alum, always a U alum. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Now we'll proceed with the conferral of degrees. If it were possible, I'd gladly give each of you a handshake along with your diploma right now. But in the interest of time, please know that this ceremony represents our collective pride and appreciation for all that you have accomplished individually. Later this month, we'll be granting degrees to 93 students in the S.J. Quinney College of Law, 130 students from the Spencer Fox Eccles School of Medicine, 47 students from the College of Pharmacy, and 51 students from the School of Dentistry. Now, Darrell Butt, Dean of the Graduate School, will present the candidates for graduate degrees. We ask the candidates to stand as they are acknowledged and to remain standing until all have been presented.
Thank you, President Randall. Where are you, by the way? I can't see where are all our grad students? Wave your hands. All right, good to see you. Graduate degrees recognize the highest level of academic achievement at the University of Utah. As graduate students, you have contributed to the education of our undergraduate students as teaching assistants and mentors, and you have supported the research and careers of our faculty and staff as you've sought to develop new insights and solutions to our shared human and global challenges. The faculties of the graduate school have documented your achievements, and tonight we are gathered to recognize your accomplishments as our now colleagues and peers. President Randall, it is my honor and pleasure to present the candidates who are here to receive the degrees of, and by the way, it's okay to make a little bit of noise here, and there's no pun intended, Doctor of Audiology, Doctor of Dentistry, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Musical Arts, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Philosophy, Juris Doctorate, Medical Doctorate, Education Specialist. As you're able, please, will all the candidates for doctoral degrees please stand and be recognized by your peers and by the President of the University of Utah.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as president of the University of Utah by the people of Utah acting through their representatives in the legislature and on the Utah Board of Higher Education and on the recommendation of the university's faculty and Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the doctoral degree for which you have qualified, which entitles you to all the rights, privileges, and honors thereto pertaining. Congratulations. You may be seated.
And there's more. And there's more. President Randall, it is also my honor to present the candidates who are here to receive the degrees of, and there should be a drum roll here because this is an impressive list, Master of Arts, Master of Accounting, Master of Entertainment Arts and Engineering, Master of Architecture, Master of Business Administration, Master of Business Creation, Master of City and Metropolitan Planning, Master of Education, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Fine Arts Teaching, Master of Healthcare Administration, Master of Legal Studies, Master of Music. All right. Master of Occupational Health, Master of Occupational Therapy, Master of Philosophy, Master of Public Administration, Master of Public Health, Master of Public Policy, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, Master of Real Estate Development, Master of Science, Master of Software Development, Master of Statistics, Master of Social Work, Master of Athletic Training, Professional Science Master. As you are able, will you all please stand and be recognized by your peers and the President of the University of Utah.
Hi. Daryl, I feel like we got to give you a Master of Announcing Master's degrees, for sure. By virtue of the authority vested in me as President of the University of Utah, by the people of Utah, acting through their representatives in the legislature and on the Utah Board of Higher Education, and on the recommendation of the university's faculty and board of trustees, I confer upon you the master's degree for which you have qualified, which entitles you to all the rights, privileges, and honors thereto pertaining. Congratulations. I now invite Mitzi Montoya, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs, to the podium.
Okay, we've come to the moment many of you have been waiting for, the presentation for the candidates for bachelor's degrees. Okay, before we begin, I want to first recognize the 121 students who will receive the Undergraduate Research Scholars designation and the 258 students graduating with university honors degrees. Congratulations. It is now my great pleasure to present the candidates for Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Social Work, and Bachelor of University Studies. Okay, this next part is fun. I'm going to invite my colleagues, the academic deans, to present the candidates from their respective colleges. As a word to the wise, this is a bit of a celebration competition, so please feel free to get involved.
All right, everybody make some noise. Please welcome Dean Arnab Chakraborty.
All right. Thank you for that walk-up music. Please get ready to recognize the loud and proud graduates whose creations from homes to communities will elevate us, whose designs of virtual and physical experiences will nurture us, and ultimately, whose passion to change the world for the better will inspire us. Families, friends, and students, I present to you the future leaders of architecture, design, games, and planning. Graduates of the College of Architecture and Planning, if you're able, please rise and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated.
And now please welcome Dean Kurt Dirks.
Let's have some fun. All right, David Eccles School of Business graduates. Let's go. Come on. Are you ready for your future? You will build the companies and grow the companies. You will lead communities. You will launch ideas that fuel the future of business and create the prosperity for our nation. And someone has to give the engineers, the scientists, the poets, and the lawyers something to do. Please rise and let's hear your pride in graduation and the pride of forever being a Ute. Go Utes, come on. You may be seated.
And now please welcome Dean Frankie Santos Laanen.
College of Education graduates, will the exemplars of excellence, the heroic
trailblazers whose profession shapes all other professions, the provocateurs of Imagineers, creativity and passion, the world's talent teachers, the college pathway makers who are redefining learning, who are transforming passion into practice, who are bridging theories and action for enduring societal impact. From the College of Education, please rise and be recognized. Woo. Remember, graduates, that your greatest strength is your voice. Your greatest allies are your colleagues, the community of educators who share your passion for the future. Now, go out and lead, educate, and transform lives. But remember, the College of Education, faculty and staff, love you.
And now please welcome Dean Charles Musgrave.
Get ready to give it up for the engineers. Engineers just don't imagine the future, they create it. Engineers are the force that ended the Stone Age, created the Industrial Revolution, the nuclear age, the space age, the digital age, the information age, and are now leading the age of artificial intelligence. In just 150 years, engineers enabled humanity to leap from candlelight to nuclear power, from the Pony Express to satellite communications, from carriages to electric cars, and from the abacus to supercomputers. As graduates of the Jon and Marcia Price College of Engineering, you inherit a legacy forged by pioneers who invented the first artificial heart, the first artificial eye, who pioneered computer graphics, desktop publishing, personal computers, brain-computer interfaces, and founded iconic companies such as Adobe, Pixar, Atari, and of course, our favorite, Chuck E. Cheese. You stand on the shoulders of these innovators. You are the innovators who will create the future. Will the graduates from the Jon and Marcia Price College of Engineering please rise and be recognized? You may be seated.
And now give it up for Dean John Scheib.
I was told there was a word limit to our speeches tonight. I'll make this short. Will all the amazing artists, the courageous creatives, the professional players, performers, and portrayers, whose work awakens, inspires, and deepens our humanity, and in difficult times like these, helps keep our sanity. The designers, actors, dancers, and movie makers, the musicians, scholars, arts educators, creators, and curators in the College of Fine Arts, please stand and be recognized. Take a bow. Thank you. You may be seated.
Now please welcome Dean Kelly Tappenden.
It is my distinct honor to recognize graduates who will have a profound impact on our society and each of us as individuals. In a healthcare landscape often focused on illness and limitation, they are champions of possibility, wellness, and quality of life. Their interventions don't just address symptoms, they restore dignity, they foster independence, they build community, they rekindle hope. Where others see barriers, they see potential. And where others focus on what cannot be done, they illuminate what can. Graduates from the College of Health, please rise and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated.
And now please welcome Dean Wanda Pillow.
Okay, I'm looking for my humanities graduates. Woo! Okay, do you know what the CEOs of YouTube, Disney, Hewlett-Packard, Slack, and PopSockets all have in common? They were humanities majors. The humanities are a driving force in our society, from arts to business to law to philanthropy to technology. Humanities scholars bring the broad perspectives, analytic skills, and lifelong learning habits that we need. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the incredible community of world-building thinkers, writers, journalists, and analysts, collaborators, connectors, creators, and truth tellers who study every aspect of what it needs to be human. I present the unflinching historians, the provocative philosophers, the analytic linguistics, the versatile communicators, the insightful English students, the environmental specialists, and the intrepid explorers of world languages and culture, and the bold students of writing and rhetoric. Graduates of the College of Humanities, please rise and be recognized. Thank you so much, and you may be seated. Some of you may not know I am also double dean. I'm Dean of Humanities, but also Dean of Transform. So I'm also here for anyone who has a major in Transform, a minor in Transform, or did a certificate in Transform. Okay, every college talks about it on campus, but there is only one unit on campus with transformation in its title, and that's our school. But what is this Transform School? If you took the coolest creators and the most curious minds and you merge them into a book club that reads the hippest books and link them with art, science, history, land, and earth, it produces fiery joy, a joy that breaks barriers in scholarship and research, confronts absences, creates dialogue, and calls things for what they are. You have Transform, the School for Cultural and Social Transformation, and I am honored to present to you the truly transformational leaders and scholars at the U. To the beloved graduates of the School for Cultural and Social Transformation, please rise and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. One last shout out to my humanities and Transform graduates and scholars. You are my superheroes.
And now please welcome Dean Marla DeJong.
Nurses and gerontologists work wherever healthcare is delivered. They lead the way in providing high-quality healthcare for all and exemplify trust and excellence. Will the nursing and gerontology candidates from the College of Nursing, who will promote wellness and prevent illness, make scientific discoveries that transform healthcare, shape the future of healthcare to be equitable, and improve health outcomes for all persons and communities within Utah and beyond, please rise and be recognized.
Now please welcome Interim Dean Pearl Sandick.
Graduates of the College of Science and the College of Mines and Earth Sciences, today we celebrate your achievement, your perseverance, and your noble pursuit of understanding of the natural world. You have explored everything from the atomic to the astronomical, from complex equations to critical minerals, from biological systems to Earth's systems. The world needs your big ideas, your insights, and the skills you've spent years developing. You are the innovators and critical thinkers of tomorrow, the creators of a better future. Please rise and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated.
And let's give it up for Dean Michelle Camacho.
Graduating students of the College of Social and Behavioral Science, the largest college with the most disciplines, and dare I say, the most impactful. That's you, psychology, economics, environment, society, and sustainability, family and consumer studies, health, society, and policy, political science, sociology, criminology. And to our ROTC cadets, soon to be commissioned officers, we are so proud of you all. You leave here with the heart and the evidence to lead. You've studied how people think, how communities thrive, how systems break, and most importantly, how to fix them. And your energy, it's contagious! And we're just getting started! Please rise! Levanten los brazos! Jump around! Wave your arms! Make some noise! Go Utes! Bravo!
And last but certainly not least, Dean Philip Osteen.
Thank you. As is tradition at commencement, we did in fact save the best for last. President Randall, trustees, distinguished guests, families, friends, and graduates, it is my honor to introduce you to the most amazing group of people you will ever meet. These graduates share a fundamental belief in the dignity and worth of all people, the capacity for all people to change and grow in pursuit of a healthy and meaningful life, and the ability and responsibility of each of us to contribute to a more just and equitable society. Our noble profession is rooted in a lifelong commitment of service. And as demonstration, as part of their program, these graduates have contributed nearly 300,000 hours of service to the residents of Utah. Or what I like to call a $9 million investment in hope. Graduates of the College of Social Work, rise and be recognized. Make yourself known. Thank you. You may be seated.
Will all of the bachelor's candidates please rise once more? It is with pleasure that the university recognizes its undergraduates and welcomes those candidates who stand before us into our alumni ranks. By virtue of the authority vested in me as president of the University of Utah by the people of Utah, acting through their representatives in the legislature and on the Utah Board of Higher Education, and on the recommendation of the university's faculty and Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the baccalaureate degree and certificate for which you have qualified, which entitles you to all the rights, privileges, and honors thereto pertaining. Please congratulate all of our bachelor's degrees. You may be seated. Graduates, I encourage you to attend your individual college convocations. They provide an opportunity to gather and commemorate this incredible achievement with your peers and the faculty, family, friends, and everyone that supported you. Again, congratulations to each of you. We wish you ongoing success and look forward to all that you will accomplish. Once again, join me in recognizing the amazing and talented class of 2025. Thank you. So before I issue some final thank yous and final instructions, let me finish my top 10 list, and actually there are only 2 more. 1, always believe in yourself. Be courageous. Never doubt what you can accomplish. And finally, be ever grateful to everyone who is around you. We are so grateful that you carry the hope and future of our society before us. We are educators, fundamentally because we believe that ideas in the hands and minds of the energy of the next generation create an optimism that will be unsurpassed and unvanquished. And we thank you so much for attending this university. Thank you very, very, very much. So our thanks to all who have arranged this commencement and to the University of Utah Wind Ensemble, conducted by Jason Missel, Director of Bands and Assistant Professor of Music. Thank you for everyone who has joined us tonight on this wonderful occasion. Now let us all rise to honor the graduates of 2025 as the pride of Utah, the University of Utah Marching Band. Plays the Utah Fight Song.
Will the audience please remain standing for this recessional? This concludes the 156th Annual Commencement and Conferral of all certificates and degrees by the University of Utah.